What's up guys, I'm Joey and this is Performance Outdoor. Today I wanted to talk about the Etekcity camping stove. Now there have been a lot of reviews on the Etekcity stove and I wanted to write another one today because one of the things I've noticed with a lot of those other reviews is the majority of them are first impression videos or maybe even unboxing videos. And there's nothing wrong with that. I actually really enjoy watching unboxing videos or first impression videos when you have somebody who's really experienced in the outdoor and camping industry and they tell you what they think about a new product that they get their hands on. But I've actually been using this stove for about 4 years now. I first bought this in 2016 when I was getting ready for a backpacking trip on the Bent McKay Trail in North Georgia. And I had used other people's stoves before, like the Jetboil stove, and Jetboil stove is awesome. But I was a backpacker on a budget, so I was looking for something cheap. And I went to Amazon and I started doing my research on different stove options and I stumbled upon this guy. I was able to pick this up for $11 at the time and I have been using it ever since. It takes a normal butane canister and I have since used this on every camping, backpacking, hunting trip that I have gone on. I use it for just heating up water for any instant meals that I'm cooking, morning coffee when I'm out on the trail, as well as surprise hot chocolate breaks when I'm out hiking with my boys. Now the Etekcity stove comes with this nice hard case. It's nice to have, don't have to worry about it when it's bouncing around in my bag. And the legs on it fully unfold, kind of wrap around, and they lock in place, so it's pretty solid here. And these arms also fold out. And it screws onto a normal butane canister. And one of the things that I know people are always talking about with stoves is whether it has a sparker on it so it can ignite itself, or if you have to light it with a matchstick. This one, it has a sparker. I have been using it for 4 years. I've never had an issue. One of the things I've noticed though is you have to turn the gas on at a lower level. And then it really starts going. And you can crank it fully up. And you turn the gas on and off with this little valve right here. I've noticed if you have the gas fully open and you try to spark it up, it is just going to put itself out. So like I said, I've been using this for 4 years on a lot of different trips and it is still sparking every time. And as long as you have it set so the gas is low, it sparks up pretty much the first click every time. Now I think one thing people will question with this stove is how wide the arms are. You actually have 3.5 inches from point to point, and that's a lot smaller than some of the other ones that are out there. So I've always had concerns that I might have my pot tip over when I'm out on the trail cooking. It actually hasn't happened yet. I'm typically pretty good about making sure I'm cooking on a flat surface, which you always should be doing anyway. And this is the cup that I'm usually using just to boil water or make coffee or hot chocolate, whatever it is. So at 3.5 inches, I mean, you're fully covering your base. So I haven't had any issues with it tipping, but a pot much bigger than that, you might run into some issues. But even then, like if you're cooking on a flat base, you're probably gonna be just fine. It's just something to be aware of. I mean, if you're primarily cooking with larger pots, you might want to consider a stove that has the wider arms. But again, if you're just using this type of metal cup out on the trail, you're probably going to be fine. I haven't had any issues with it myself. And I know everybody always wants to see a boil video. How quick is this little guy actually going to heat up 2 cups of water? So here we go. So if you're anything like me, a backpacker on a budget, and you're just looking for a really solid, inexpensive stove, I would definitely recommend the Etekcity stove. It's been really good. Like I said, I've had it for 4 years and never had a single issue with it. I have heard reviews of people who are using it in sub-zero temperature that it's actually not lighting up. I've never used it in that kind of cold weather, extreme conditions. So if that's something you're going to be doing, take that into account. There's a couple of areas on the stove that you might think would be a point of failure. There's a rubber gasket right here that helps you lock down onto the actual butane canister. Have had zero issues with that. The actual valve here, it's really solid. It's really well built. Never had any issues with that. The only thing that is kind of, I guess, loose or maybe a little bit shaky is the actual arms that fold out. They're really loose. I mean, they'll flop around a little bit, but it's not coming off. It's not something that you can tighten down either. I know that there's some stoves that you can use an Allen wrench here to tighten it down. It's not the case here. They're loose, but again, it doesn't feel like it's on a break off or anything like that. So overall, I've been super pleased with it. Like I said, I picked it up for like 11 bucks, and that's how much you can usually get it around like $10 to $15 on Amazon and a few different online retailers. Fits up in this nice little carrying case, and I usually store it right in my bag, right in my cup. So that is the Etekcity stove. Alright guys, so I really appreciate you watching the video. Leave any comments below if you have questions, and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see any new upcoming product review videos. Really appreciate it, guys. We'll see you soon.